everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. We are going back in history in a certain extent, battle-wise today, and a highly requested episode, highly requested guest, I should say, that we're going to get into shortly. Just before we do, as always, battlerapresume@gmail.com. If you want to get in touch, you want to come on the show, you want to let me know anything, at Battle Rap Resume as well. Check out the Patreon. We have a lot of stuff on there that goes on there before it goes live on the channel. We've got a sort of classic event rewind with Pamphlet on there, I believe, at the moment. We've got Mastermind on there. Check it out. Leave us a review on iTunes. But as I said before, we're going back a slight way now. First battle is in November of 2009 in Don't Flop, which is a really ripe period there. Prince Kong, how's it going, man?
Not bad. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course, man, of course. And, you were really highly requested. Like, I often open it up on the Twitter or who do people want to see on. And your name continually came up, man. And it was interesting to see. I'm not saying I didn't expect it, but it was like, yeah, Prince Kong.
All right. Yeah, well, I'm here, aren't I? So, yeah, cool.
Yeah. How does it start? I mean, to go way, way back, like, just you rapping, you writing, you performing, how did that begin?
It started, I was actually, so 2005, I was detained at Her Majesty's pleasure for a while, and I was locked up, and I had nothing to do. I was bored, and I was always into music. Yeah, I was always into music. I used to be a drummer, and I was locked up, and I started writing just to pass the time, pass the boredom. But to be honest, when I got out of jail in 2007, I linked up. I knew Gizmo from a long time ago. I knew Gizmo from when I was a teenager, and he basically brought me into the Slip Jam fold, and to which is Slip Jam's like an open mic hip hop night in Brighton. Been running for a long time, and he brought me into that and sort of taught me how to actually sort of rhyme in the first place, and try and construct verses and stuff like that.
Was this sort of Rum Committee era? Was that later?
Yeah, I mean, this is pre-Rum Committee. This is like, Rum Committee sort of formed maybe about a year or two after that, maybe a year and a half after that. So this is like pre-Rum Committee. This is fresh, yeah. So my first ever night, I think, Endless, shout out Big Dave. Yeah. So I remember Endless come up to me a little while ago, and Endless was there the first day I ever rapped on mic, Slip Jam, and he said he often tells me when he's pissed, he's like, Kong, he goes, when I first saw you that day at Slip Jam, he's like, you can rhyme for shit. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, now you've come on so well. You're so much better. Like, I can't believe it. But you couldn't rhyme for shit. I'm like, all right, Dave, chill out. You don't have to say that anymore, man. But yeah, that's how it started, and it just sort of built through Slip Jam a lot. I've got to shout out Heinzie Hines on that one as well. Heinzie held it down, running Slip Jam in Brighton. Was the world's longest running open mic hip hop night. It was going for like 15 years or something. It's not really. I think it's taken a little hiatus at the minute, but yeah, that's it really. I came through Slip Jam, and that's how I sort of got together with all the Rum Committee boys, and things moved on from there.
The name Prince Kong, where did that come from?
So when I was younger, my surname's Prince. My second name's Prince.
Right.
My name's Ryan Prince. So when I was younger, everyone used to call me Princey, just a real unimaginative nickname. And then when I started rapping, I just started rapping under the name Princey, and then Giz said to me, I had an email address, and it was like Prince Kong, that I just done it Prince Kong at Gmail or Hotmail or whatever. And Giz has gone, Prince is a shit name. He's like, use Prince Kong. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And so that's
oh, right.
That's it. There you go. That's how the name comes out.
Oh right. I had you down as like a sort of I don't know, a King Kong fanatic or something. But the fact that Gizmo decided it, that's great.
No. I mean, like I say, it was based around my surname and an email address, a random email address that I had, and getting Giz telling me my name was shit. And, nothing too exciting.
What about battle rap at this point? Were you interested in it in any way, or?
Not really. I first got into battle rap watching very early Don't Flops. Because Don't Flop started in Brighton, where I'm from Brighton. So Don't Flop started down here.
Too easy, I think.
I think, I can never remember the other guy's name, but I remember it's Oshea, because it is in the car park underneath the Thistle Hotel. So I watched early things like English and Scissors versus Kruger and actually outside the pavilion when it rained. Yeah, so I remember watching that and being at a very, very early event as well. Which was when English battled Scissors actually down in Rarekind in Brighton. I think that I kind of quite liked the environment. I liked how it was. I liked a lot of the people involved. It was kind of tongue in cheek, but at the same time, like it was quite kind of deep and quite, do you know what I mean, quite cutting. I quite liked the fact that I liked that kind of the side of it. And then I think me and Giz just sort of for a laugh one day went, should we do one? And then I was like, I'll battle you. And you know how it is, mates getting, you says one person says, I'll fuck you up in a battle, and the other one, and the next thing is happening. And
I mean, you go on to team up multiple times, so it's only fitting that you tried out against each other. It was, as I say, November 2009.
Early Don't Flop battle. You can see you can see how different it is now.
It's a little. Says it's a little matchbox room. The penthouse is that where it was?
Oh, it's literally a little room above a pub that I used to drink in and take ecstasy in when I was like 14. It's like the shittest little pub, like the only pub that would serve eat up 14-year-olds, and it's like the worst pub going. It was. I think mine and Giz was the only battle of the day as well. And it was pretty shocking. And Heinzie Hines had a blonde beard.
Yeah. In the background, a sign says "Only haters talk shit." Big Wiz is there. Adam the Rapper's there, which is cool to see.
There's some real old school heads lurking. You can see there. I like watching old battles sometimes. They go, "Oh shit, remember him? I haven't seen him in a while."
Both of them are run committee. Says at the start as well. He talks about the UK Hip Hop Forum or some sort of forum there, which is interesting. But Giz has to be said altogether is a great battler. A great MC.
Yeah.
But and it was awesome to see you guys face off here, and I think he was good in the first round.
I think I trailed off a bit. Like I wasn't used to that sort of setting. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of pressure. And I think I forgot half one of my verses, and then had to like throw in some like throwaway bars that I'd decided. You know what I mean? It was all sort of hashed together a little bit. And like I say, it was just like the early years. I Don't Flop. I hadn't really followed battling much, and I think it just as I was starting to get good, I kind of backed away from it all, to be honest. Like with the battling thing, I think I was just sort of starting to find my way in it, and then I just went, oh fuck this, actually, just went and did some other stuff.
I think you flow definitely, with more vigor than he does in the first. Don't make me split the lips of this 4'6" koala.
Yeah, shit. I don't even remember saying that.
No, of course not.
I don't remember writing that.
It's a good showcase, I think, for both of you. He calls you a fat Vinnie Jones. And just sort of
numerous times.
The obvious sort of mixtures. Calls you a weird hybrid of Ray Liotta and Chopper Reed. Yeah,
that's actually pretty spot on, to be honest. I looked at myself in the mirror once, and I just had this vision of like this Photoshop amalgamation. You know, when it's like, what kind of baby would these two people have? But I just kind of feel, like there's been some pretty spot on things said to me in battles, to be honest. I've got a couple of favourite bars that have been said against me. I think Verb T takes the best one. And Jolly J's got one in there as well. Sensor didn't get any. Sensor's shit.
Right. even though he had, and we'll get to it, the longest third round ever.
Oh, it's just, I don't even get it. It
goes from light to dark.
Shit. Yeah, do you know what? Yes, it does, honestly.
It really does.
I honestly, I think that was one of the reasons I kind of fell out of love with the battling thing, because I just thought, if he can just rap for so long that they forget what I've said, then do you know what I mean? How do you beat that? Do you know what I mean? I just thought, oh, this is bullshit. And Censor wouldn't battle me unless it was an unlimited. He refused to battle me, and that was his whole plan all along, just waffle nonsense for 27 minutes or whatever it was. And then anyway, don't get me started rambling on that.
Well, we'll get to that. I mean, this is early. Don't flop, as you say. It's not the beginning, but it's early. It's growing. What was it around this era in terms of popularity? This sort of early 2010.
Yeah, I guess so. 2010 was the 2-on-2 tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot going on in Brighton. I think obviously Don't Flop, like there was a lot of Brighton heads involved in Don't Flop, obviously originating from there. And I think obviously them Rum Committee sort of got together, and there was a big army of us going everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Right. Everywhere we went up and down the country, and it was it was all a bit nuts, but it was, I think it was the best era. I'm not just saying it because I was involved, but I think my favourite battles come from that sort of era, that, and a little bit later, sort of between 2010 and say 2012, 2013, I reckon was my favourite era in battle rap.
Okay. And, around this time, obviously you are with Gizmo in the 2-on-2, but I just want to talk about a battle. It's not even really, I guess it's a battle, but it's kind of a one-off sort of thing. I've mentioned it before with Press One and Kruger. This is this 3v3 at this festival.
Oh, NAS festival, the little freestyle thing. It was me, Adam the Rapper, and
Kruger was on your team, and DK was on the other team with and Press One.
Yeah, that's it. Me, Adam the Rapper, and Kruger against them.
There's so many people there.
That was a funny. Yeah, that was a funny. That was a funny one. That.
Yeah. It's just one of those ones that I want to point out to people. Maybe they haven't.
Wait, do you know that festival? Adam the Rapper caught a bee in a cup and had it in his pocket. So there you go. There's a fun, pointless Don't Flop fact for you. And do you know what? When no shit, yeah. When he released it, it was it stung me on the neck.
Wow.
The fucker stung me on the neck. Yeah, there you go. Pointless battle rap trivia for you.
All right. We love that here, man. But it's an interesting watch. And you and Giz did well in this tournament. You beat some good opponents in this tournament.
Yeah, we should have won. Well, at least we should have been facing Lego and Tenchu in the final. Right. To be honest, no disrespect to the to Gasp and Depths, they were good, but they wouldn't have beat us on form. We fucked up by going out with Oshea and getting drunk in Liverpool the night before, and got absolutely hammered hard. Slept on a floor in I think my cousin's flat in a house in Toxteth, it was just we knew we were losing that before we even got there. We were all hungover, and we should have won that. We should have won that. We should have won that battle, and should have been us against Tenchu and Lego. Really, I think that was the final everyone wanted to see as well. I don't think anyone expected us to lose that semi, but what can you do when you go out drinking with Oshea?
You battled Jolly J soon after this, Blood in the Water 4.
You ain't got the balls like a victim of castration. This wanker thinks he's flash with all this vocal masturbation. He's Nola State's local arse bandit, mate. He's blatant with his arse around his pants outside Portslade Station. I'm getting a bit impatient with this 2-bit boy George, because when I spit raw, I see him picking up crisps off this floor. Because this kid's poor. I know it's harsh, but Giz can't afford new kicks, so he nicks yours. Yeah, I've been to his house and I've met his old dear. She's an overgrown hobo, lives on Rolos and beer.
Money on the line. Apparently this was a grudge match?
Not really. No, I mean, to a degree. I mean, all it was, yeah. By the way, you're Your timeline's pretty spot on. I couldn't piece this together if you asked me to, man.
It's Verse Tracker, man.
Yeah, you've done your research. But so all it was is that Seaslin battled Jolly J and Brick Lane a little while before that, and during the battle he mentioned me, and I went and I shouted "fuck off, Big Nose" from the crowd. Right, and he went, "Oh, Prince Kong, he's a faggot to me, and if he wants to say fuck off next round, he could be battling me." And everyone went, "Oh," and I thought, well, all right, now okay, we'll do it. And I said, I'm only doing it for money. I was like, I only want to battle you for money, so I'll only battle you if you put some money on it. I asked him to put 500 quid in it. I finally got him to settle on a oneer, and you could see how gutted he was to lose that as well. But that was it basically. It weren't really a grudge match. He just chatted shit in one of his battles. I told him to fuck off, and he threw a freestyle out at me, and basically threw a freestyle out at me, and everyone loved it. It was kind of basic, but it got in the reaction he wanted. It got in the battle he wanted as well. So maybe not the actual battle he wanted because he was skint when he went home, but.
And this is about, you've been battling about a year and a bit by the time you get to this Jolly J battle, so you've had a lot of practice, you've grown a lot, and one of the things that people remember you for, Prince Kong, is the physicality, the delivery of these bars in the aggressive way that I think works well against Jolly J. I
genuinely didn't like him at that
point. It comes across actually. You sort of booing his face in the first.
I quite like to not like my opponent. Yeah. To be honest, it means that I can just because I want to. I'm kind of. Thing is, me and Jolly J are very different people, and I would never bully somebody like him in the way that I did unless it was in a rap battle. I'm not a bully, but I knew that it would be a good way to get under his skin. I knew that he'd probably never been shouted at before, even by his mum. And I just thought, I thought if I just get in his grill, he's going to shit himself, and he did, basically. But I like that about my, I think a battle's a battle, it's you should want to take the other person's head off for that fucking 9 minutes or whatever. You should want to, because what are you doing otherwise? Why you don't want to go there. I don't want to go there and call someone's mum a slag for 10 minutes. It's boring, isn't it?
And one of the reasons I like this battle is because, as you say, it ends with unlimited rounds at the end, so you both get to just go off, which is really cool to see at the end of the sort of quite tight minutes beforehand. And he has some pretty inventive stuff, sort of going in on your girl and speaking to her in German.
Yeah, that you should saw how that went down with the crowd though. Yeah, everyone went, just like it's. I mean, not hold tight, my German brethren and all that. But it's not the most attractive language, is it?
No,
it's not the sexiest of languages. It's no Spanish or Italian or French, is it? So I think that kind of backfired a little bit because everyone went, "Oh, you just sound creepy now, Hans." Yeah. The thing is that I knew that he was going to do that because the fucking idiot messaged my missus and went, "Oh, like." I mean, it was, you know what, I say fucking idiot, it was respectful, fair dues to him. Like he messaged her and was like, look, I might say a couple of things about you in the battle. I just want you to know that I'm not, I don't mean it, and it's, it's all in good humour, and blah blah blah. But he told her, so I knew straight away. And then he's like, "I'll give you a hug after the battle." I was just like, "Oh, you fool!" But like, I just, I like, it was good. I mean, what I was saying about my favourite bars that was ever said about to me, probably my second one is the lock stock bar that he dropped at me. The locks that I did love you and lock stock saying, can everyone stop getting shot? And I was like, all right, fair enough. I look very different now, but I kind of did look a bit like Frank Harper at that point.
I quite like in his for only reason you buy the cunt, you want to be more like Heidi Klum. Nice. But you win on the third. I think you style out on the third and convince everyone, and they give you the victory with it.
I thought I did. I thought I deserved it.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's interesting battle again. Yeah, you mentioned Daddy Fritz as well. You go for sort of the obvious certain things, but you know.
Yeah. You know, you get, you know, it's not a problem dropping a little bit of bait, piss taking bars. I just think if you can't, if it's oversaturated with them, do you know what I mean? I mean, if you look at certain battle rappers that like just go with just joke shit, like I think they can become a bit tired. But when you've got people like Luna and like Oshea, guys that they're strong, like there's a lot of humor behind their bars, but they're quite cutting with it and they can be quite aggressive with it as well. I think, you know, it's a good mix.
Yeah. And, you know, visually this event was a big step forward for Don't Flop. Don't Flop in many ways was getting way bigger now in 2011, etc. You're still battling. You've been there since the beginning. Were you aware? Would you like how big it was getting, or?
We were aware, obviously, because, like, you know, it was happening around us. We've been involved from these shitty little venues, like, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to talk too much politics on here, but, like, I didn't like the fact that the people that were putting in the hard work not only weren't seeing any of the profits, but were actually funding themselves to travel up and down the country. Yeah. You know, and I didn't, you know, there's many reasons I drifted away from battle rap, and that's definitely one of them. The money that was being generated wasn't filtering down to the people putting in the hard work, and it was sort of it was mirroring the whole sort of the promoter that, you know, wants you to travel 200 miles to support so and so in Birmingham because it's a good opportunity for your career. But it was a bit, do you know what I mean? It was happening over and over and over again. It's good promotion, it's good publicity, and so it was. Yeah, we watched it get big, and then we just stepped away from it, I guess.
I mean, you sort of, when you stepped away, is kind of potentially when it, you know, you could have got involved profit wise, or?
I don't think that. I mean, I don't think the man that was looking after the money wasn't loosening those purse strings, and he lost a lot of people because of that.
Right.
He lost a lot of people, you know, up until that fairly recently. Did you see Tenchu battle for a long time?
Yeah.
About Luna didn't battle for ages either, did he? You know, the money wasn't filtering down, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot less of Don't Flop right now.
Well, it's gone.
Yeah. You know, it's just. Is it? I mean, is that official? It's officially over.
Pretty much, it seems. Yeah, I mean, all the main staff apart from her have left on bad terms.
Yeah. Well, do you know that's what happens when you treat people like shit?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Big up Kruger, he's done it, you know, that he was the fucking, it just shows, you know, that he was the backbone, and not just him, obviously, there were a lot of other guys. Bamalam was involved, and Bagnall, and a few others, I can't even remember, but, you know, and they were all, you know, you know, they did it, and, you know, do you know what? Yeah, I remember I was battling. I was having a little freestyle battle with once, and I said to him, this is years ago, and talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? I said to him, something like, "You ain't even a rapper no more. You just a presenter, Gandhi Peters," right? No, I don't know if you're aware, but back in the day, there used to be a TV presenter called Andy Peters, right? So I dropped that bar, and you know what? That's what happened. He ended up becoming just a fucking, you know, his ego just you know, it just meant that he just stood in front of a camera, just gassed off his own self-importance. And look, now it's all falling to shit around him. So, you know, it just goes to show you need to look after the people that put you where you are. Otherwise, when they're gone, you've got no one else there to hold you up.
Verb T next, who you said off air that he bodied you.
Yeah, I reckon he did. Yeah,
okay.
You know,
I've actually seen it. I need to watch it.
I'll give that to Verbs. It's really bad quality. One of the cameras died, but you know, Verbs. Yeah, he said the best thing to me actually ever. He said to me, he says, "You look like some mad dude walked away from a stag do, saw a bunch of guys rapping and thought, yeah, I could do that too." Fucking bastard, mate. I swear. And you know what? Verb T's actually a good mate of mine now, and like, I think he's a G. Like I was expecting, because he'd had a few chokes up until that point. I was thinking he's gonna choke again. And then I watched the battle with Disciple that he'd done just before mine. He bodied Disciple.
Right.
And I was like, shit. I was like, motherfucker, just because I knew I know about Verb T from years ago, so I knew he was a sick rapper. I just thought he just didn't have the battling thing worked out, but he worked it out just before my battle and took the piss out of me. So yeah, there you go. And I'm not afraid to admit when I've lost either. Do you know? Yeah. I might be gassed and say I think I won that. But if I lost the battle, I lost the battle. You know.
No, fair. And your next battle was arguably your biggest matchup at this point. It was released in August 2011 against Censor.
And what's your obsession with dead kids, especially Northwest kids? Jamie, Reese, Madeline, do you need your head fixed? For talking all that shit, it's a blatant bad look. You wrote more about Maddie than Kate McCann's book. Whoa. And that shit you said to Oshea about Hillsborough was very fucked. But then the Scouts are back in Sheffield now, and you're the one who's getting crushed. Just because you rested us, you still get no respect from us, because no one in the scene gets the amount of hate that Censor does. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, go on.
I mean, like a controversial figure, obviously.
Oh, he's a fucking yogger, isn't he? I mean, I don't know. I've never met a more bland human being in all my life. He's literally the Magnolia of battle rap. He's the most. Honestly, I just can't cope with his presence. Yeah, go on.
I mean, this is the main event, but most of the people are outside this in Sheffield because he was late. Is that right?
Yeah. He was doing his nails or something.
Right.
Ironing his tracksuit. I don't know.
Yeah. Were you annoyed about that he was so late? Or?
Yeah, because I was getting slowly and steadily more drunk and coked up. I had a very bad drug problem at the time, and and the longer he took, the more fucked I was getting, and the more hard it was getting for me to compose myself and actually do the thing. And plus, and you know what I mean, it's like just the fact that he is disrespectful to everyone involved. You know what I mean? We've got to stand and do it on the street. People have paid money to see it in a venue, and then there's people stood in the street like you know what I mean, like a fucking soup kitchen. Just do you know what I mean? It's a fucking joke. But whatever. He still gave them a show, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he does well in this, I think, and he gets some good reaction, as do you. I think this is a really, really good battle. There's a lot of superstars in the crowd as well, which is cool to see. And yeah, you go in on Censor's obsession with dead kids. Wrote more about Madeline than Kate McCann's book. But Censor does have this long round to close out. What were you thinking as he was going for nigh on 10 minutes?
Oh, I was thinking, just get on with it, mate. To be honest, I kind of zoned out and I was just getting wrecked with innuendo off camera. Basically, me and innuendo were just getting hammered off camera. Like, I just thought, do you know what? I mean, I think if he'd have cut out all that filler bullshit, we could have had a much more even battle in terms of judgment and in terms of like content. You know what I mean? I just think he filled it with so much. This fake wedding with me and Mad Hatter, and it's just like it just goes off, and it's just like, what are you even on about, mate? What sort of mind thinks this shit up? Like, just nonsense, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, he had some good bars in it, I'm not gonna lie, but he also had a load of shit, and he went on for ages, and it got dark, and he kind of ruined my day. So, but not in a good way. Not in a way that he should feel any pride from. Anyway,
yeah, he sort of compares you to a Pakistani compound, putting up the wall, shows you have something to hide.
Some abstract
very abstract.
But I don't think it was intelligent. I think it was just really contrived. It was like, I don't know, fuck him anyway.
Reverse 2-on-2. It's supposed to be Kong carrying a bitch, which is pretty cool. But it is to a taste. I mean, you battled Oshea, Cold City Battles, which.
Don't talk about them. I thought they were well buried in the. Oh, fucking hell, no.
You battled Oshea. You battled Innuendo. Like, what was this lead to you?
Mate, I was off my tits. I hadn't slept. I'd been drinking rum neat and doing all manner of drugs. And I don't even remember how I got there. It was in a garage in Wembley, and Charlie Slough was hosting. It was the most. I don't even know. Honestly, I can't even remember that day. Like, my mate ended up getting I lost my mate, and I ended up seeing videos of him singing on the tube with Sprungy, singing oh shit, singing songs on the tube with Sprungy, and it was just the most messed up day. I don't remember getting there. I don't remember doing. All I remember is Innuendo delivering a well-written, well-structured verse, and me just waffling some nonsense that didn't rhyme. Occasionally swinging from a half bottle of rum that I had in my pocket. So it wasn't my shining moment. That
no. No, I need to do an episode on that league just for the wonderful abomination that it was, Cold City Battles. Loads of big names battled on it though. Archaic. I want to say Chronicle, maybe. I'm not quite sure.
I think Chronicle did do one.
Yeah. But we'll get to the next Don't Flop battle, which I guess technically was your last kind of proper battle that got released on the channel. This is against Mos Prob. This is quite a cool matchup, this one.
Yeah, that was another one where, do you know what? Props to Prob. Mm-hmm. He was good, and he did beat me. But do you know what? That was because I was just weren't feeling battling anymore at that point. I was just doing it because I just felt like I wanted. Do you know what I mean? It was just that I'd make a decision, and I was just really weren't feeling it at all. And I literally wrote my last two rounds, final two rounds, the night before the battle, because I just couldn't pull myself together. And it was the night before, and I thought, well, I'm not that good at freestyling. Sorry, I'm just rolling the zoo. I'm not that good at freestyling, so I'm not going to be able to hold that. We saw in Cold City Battles my prowess when I'm fucking stranded with no beat and to freestyle. And so I just crammed a load of Jewish jokes into two rounds, and then that was it really. It was all right. It was kind of a fun battle. I like Adam as well. He's my mate. I see him around. We both live in Brighton and that. He's a good kiddie. Yeah. And I didn't really take it seriously like I do with battles. I didn't want to punch his head off like I do it.
Sure. Midsummer Murders 3. It's a big crowd, lively crowd. Divine Rights and Siezling have been performing apparently. This was 1 a.m. in the morning when this battle went down.
What?
Yeah, apparently that's what says, yeah.
What battle's this?
Against Mos Prob.
Oh, against Mos Prob. Shit. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of high. I trailed off a little bit. Okay. So, it probably was actually. It was late. It was, because I think Hatter battled Bleak. I want to say Bleak.
Yeah.
Hatter battled Bleak and Giz battled Pedro. Pedro? Yeah, Pedro.
Okay. You just appeal to him really on the especially. You sort of talk to him. You talk about the guy behind the camera having problems, and his gay ass profile pic, and his face looking like a comedy mask, and it's it's good shit.
It's tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Jokes.
Yeah. And I mean, Prob accepts that the battle, had been a long time coming, but it was a fun clash from both of you here. And I remember this battle actually. I remember watching this when it came out, because this was kind of just when I was getting into battle rap myself around this era, and I think the first defeat bar I ever heard was one of your bars, actually, your defeat bar, and I thought you like invented defeat bars. I'm like, oh, I'd never heard that before, so I appreciate
really
that.
I thought that was possibly the worst bar. I think it was. I put it in there because it was awful, and I don't think some people got the irony, but like some people were like, come on now, really? I was just
Jamaican with a toe fetish now tastes defeat.
Fucking hell.
Prob takes it in the end of it, but all in all,
good fun.
Yeah, a good clash. And your next battle, they've got a lot of demo battles. Again, I haven't seen this one. Kruger and Pedro versus yourself and Giz.
Oh, that was shit. That was that was at a festival.
Okay.
I think. I think that was at Nostock Festival.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I don't know when that was. I don't think that was. I think that might have been. I don't know. I mean, you've got a chronological order of it all, but like, yeah, we can't trust my memory. I can't remember shit. Okay, so yeah, that one. I can't really. I think I've seen it once or twice on YouTube, but I don't really remember it. I was at a festival. I was out of my mind.
And then one where you teamed up with Mos Prob, which is quite cool, on Barmageddon versus Oshea and Sprungy.
Oh Christ, yeah, that too. Yeah, that was yeah, Christ, yeah. That wasn't Barmageddon. That was some other thing.
Okay.
That was it was some depression thing that Pete Cashmore was doing.
Yeah, I think it was underneath the Barmageddon banner, but yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe, yeah. So yeah. I think that to be honest, that day was a bit of a blur too. Yeah, you were. Yeah, to be honest, these were my peak drug taking years. Okay. I was a monster, but yeah, I've calmed down a lot since then. But yeah, a lot of that sort of era is just a bit of a blur to me, to be honest.
It does get mentioned a lot in your battles by your opponents, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pick something else. You know what I mean? Christ.
Yeah. Do you remember you versus Sprungy on Rap Battle Championship?
Oh yeah, that's the thing I went to Liverpool for, because we had to chase the promoter around the venue to get him to pay us.
Right.
Yeah. Oh Christ. Yeah. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, that was funny. I thought we all my family are Scousers, you see. All my family are all from up north. So like whenever we go up to like the event up there, we all just go around my nan's house. Right. Like I turned up at like my nan's house with there was like me and the whole of Rum Committee, and there's like Rag and Bowman and Tommy D are both like 6'7", big lumps. We all turned up at my nan's house.
So yeah, the last battle that got uploaded for you, so it was quite a long time ago. I don't know when this actually happened, but it got uploaded in 2014. This was you teaming up with Villain versus Zayn Azra and Pamphlet.
That was in ZT's garden,
right?
yeah, that was a messy one. No, that was that. Yeah, that I don't remember the battle per se, but I remember. I think going on a trampoline. The night before, I beat ZT. Right, you could keep this in or edit out. I don't give a shit. Yeah, right. The night before, I stayed around ZT's house. Right, got drunk with him, played some FIFA. Now ZT is he's a gambling addict, right? Massive gambling addict, right? So ZT's playing me at FIFA for money. So he gets into debt with me throughout the night to the tune of £800.
No.
From playing FIFA. Now the next day, I told him I was only going to take 300 quid off him, because I didn't want to take it all off him. He gave me his cash card. I went to the cash point, took the money out, went back, gave him the card back, and then a few weeks later or a few months later, I was arrested for stealing his bank card. and then I said to them, like, there's about 40 witnesses that were there that sort of hand me the card with the PIN number and tell me to go and get the money out. And the police quickly dropped their charges. But there you go. There's another fun little don't flop anecdote for you.
These are great.
Right. Yeah. So go on. Yeah, about the battle anyway.
And did you ever want to go to Fourth Birthday, perform at that?
Which one was Fourth Birthday? Is that the one where Oshea ruined fucking Flex Digit's career?
No. No. The
no, that was April Fool's.
Yeah, when Oshea battled Tony D and
Tony D. I think by that point I'd fully just disassociated myself with Don't Flop, and in turn with battle rap, just because at that point, do you know what I mean? Don't Flop was just, there were all these other little leagues that weren't really doing anything. I mean, I think that's the one good thing actually, is there's a bit more diversity in the leagues. There's not so much of a monopoly at the moment. There's other leagues coming through and doing their thing and getting taken seriously, because there's still loads of battle rap fans out there, and it's opened the market up a little bit, which I like. I think it's good. It's a little bit of healthy competition.
Does this mean we're going to see Prince Kong back in 2018?
Yeah, I'm battling actually. I'm battling again for the first time in fucking forever.
Yeah.
I'm battling for I am going to be battling again soon.
Yeah.
Or I could say something mysterious like, well, you just have to wait and see.
I'll edit it together.
You chop and do what you like.
I mean, just before we close up, are there any sort of great stories you'd ever wanted to share about battle rap that you've experienced? Because you've been to so many, awesome events in the early days.
Okay. Probably one of my favourite days at battle rap was, I think it was Blood in the Water 3 at Brick Lane at the Vibe Bar, and we had, when me and Giz battle Oshea and Rikky Riley in the 2-on-2s, and it's like when he talks about that, and I say the his best sex position, the exorcism of Annie Rose, and blah blah. She not left him with a gammy nose and sweat him off a gram of coke with spastic hit the canvas innuendo to drag him home. Yeah, so that was all basically. We just went wild at Brick Lane. This one event, I managed to sneak a bottle of rum into the venue. My mate got shifted for drugs. They got chased by a big fucking Viking-looking bouncer. Oshea drank a load of K cider and did loads of MDMA, and then ended up crawling along the pavement. It was just the most chaotic, and then there was 50 of us on the train back to Brighton, and it was just chaos, man. It was in the good old days, I guess.
Yeah.
Just quickly, obviously, I just like I say as well, I've got an album coming out.
Yeah.
I've got an album coming out in June or July, I believe. It's just getting the finishing touches, but it's some big features on there, some big features on there that you can. I've got a feature on there from. Got features on there from Seasling, from Ocean Wisdom, from Rag and Bone Man's on there twice. So and a lot of it's produced by Scissors as well. So keep an eye out for it.
Awesome, man. Well, as we always do, we'll close up with a few quick fire questions. The first one being your favourite Don't Flop battle.
Okay. I'll try and be as quick as I can thinking about this. My favourite Don't Flop battle, I'm going to go with Oshea and Tony D.
Okay. Yeah. It really is the perfect clash, isn't it, in terms of style?
Oshea and Tony D. But then again, I do kind of want to get an honourable mention for every single Lunacy battle.
Come on.
The day I battled Censor, I judged Lunacy versus DPF.
DPF, yeah.
And in that battle, you see DPF wipe his face. Yeah, my brother laughed so hard and spat water all in DPF's face. Got through a Luna dropped to bar. Yeah, that was that. So honourable mention for that one as well. That was good. But I'm going to say Oshea and Tony D.
And are you much of a fan of international battle rap? I mean, I want to ask your favourite King of the Dot battle.
Favourite King of the Dot battle? Ooh, okay. I want to say There's a few like Pat Stan Holohan. Is it Holohan? Holohan?
Yeah.
The little bald guy. Who else? I actually quite liked Kruger versus anyone. Like Kruger in the States. Like I rated all of his stuff. Like all of his. Shit, who's my favourite? I'm trying to think now. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna say. Oh, do you know what? Do you suggest a couple of big ones for me?
Big King of the Dot battles.
Just throw a couple at me.
Versus Disaster.
Versus Disaster, I thought was shite.
Yeah, that didn't.
I thought it was.
Oh, sorry, not versus Disaster. Sorry,
I was going to say.
DNA.
I saw that in Brick Lane, I think.
Yeah, versus DNA.
I was there. It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I've got a few favourite, but like, I really like, Arsenal. I really like, I quite like Pat Stay. I quite like his quite an agree. Although something about him just makes me think that it's not convincing, that it's all a bit of an act and he's actually a big pussy. I mean, I might be wrong, and I'm not calling Pat Stay a pussy, although if he wants it, he knows where I am. Right. But all I'm saying is that something about him makes me think that maybe he's just like kind of a big scared kid. The big kids that's trapped in that big body, but they're actually really scared. I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing because I'm high as hell.
What about URL? Are you a fan of URL?
What, Smack?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it for a long time, but there's like, yeah, I'm a fan. Sure. Per se, like, there's some old school. What's that? See, I can never remember when I get put on the spot about shit like this. No. But to be honest, I'm a fan of gun bars. I love gun bars.
Come on.
And I was like, I wrote one the other day. I very rarely write them, but I was like, it's like what is it? It's like when I'm popping my Glocks, I'm stomping women because Kong carried a 9, no long division.
Let's go.
There you go. There's my gun bar of the day.
Final 2 questions, non-battle rap related. The first of which, what's your favourite film?
My favourite film? Shit, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Come on, yeah, crazy good.
There we go.
Good choice. Finally, your favourite musical band or artist that are in no way hip-hop related?
Arctic Monkeys.
Good choice.
Sorry, 1 second. Hello, mate. Shall I tell him to come outside? Sorry, I'm still on this interview. All right, I'll tell him now. Sorry, mate.
All right, it's all good, man.
It's all good. Yeah, carry on.
So yeah, I guess finally, how do people get at you? Your music you mentioned before, any Twitter, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, okay. So I don't really mess with Twitter. I'm going to start using Twitter again. Obviously, we've got Prince Kong on Facebook and Rum Committee as well.
Yeah.
You can hit me up at Kong Booztown on Twitter. Just keep an eye out. Just keep an eye on the Rum Committee page, and the Prince Kong page on Facebook. There's going to be a few things bouncing on there, some new music, some new battles, and a whole load of new shit.
All right. Well, this has been great. It's been a treat to have you on, man.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for being patient while I trail off into nonsense sometimes.
Thank you as well for that. But no, that's so seriously good to have you on, man. So everyone listening, please check out all the links for Kong stuff in the description. Follow us at BattleResume, Patreon, iTunes, get in touch with us, all that good stuff. But finally, this has been great. Thank you again.
Take it easy, mate. Bye-bye.